Sonic 3 and Knuckles. What a gem of a classic. If you were to ask me to make a Sonic 3 and Knuckles review, I would probably say no. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a ginormous game, and just talking about it lazily would leave it without justice. Sonic 3 and Knuckles begins right where Sonic 2 left off. If you haven't seen my Sonic 2 review, I recommend you go watch it because that's where I explain the story. Like very little. Anyways, Sonic is Super Sonic, and then knock, it's Knuckles, and he's coming to steal the Chaos Emeralds. Anyways, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is different because the game is pretty dang big, spanning across at least over 12 plus zones, more than what Sonic 2 offered. Now, we start with Angel Island, Green Hill, but pretty much on fire. The game works also pretty differently, because instead of having to, get to the end of the stage and hit a giant ring, or hit a checkpoint to enter a special stage, you have to find giant rings located in secret areas around the levels. And once then, you can play Blue Spears. Everyone probably remembers Blue Spears because of how frustrating it was. Stage 1 isn't that bad, but by special stage 6, it becomes a ginormous slog. In fact, a little known secret about Sonic 3 and Knuckles is that both Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles both have secret 8th special stages. And the designs will look pretty familiar because these designs will later be used for Sonic Mania, which was pretty cool. However, I'm not one to go talk about Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is just really interesting. Anyways, upon being Angel Island, you're taken to Angel Island Act 2 after the first act, after, Angel Island set of Blaze. I really like the fire effect here. It really sets a dangerous mood that will soon pull up a journey right to the end of the game. In fact, there is some unused stuff about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. In Sonic 3, Angel Island has a bunch of stuff that's only seeable in Debug Mode. For the one thing, the most obvious is a red orb-like object that you can place in Debug Mode. And it releases a red spherical movement that lags the game. My obvious guess is that the red orb item in Debug Mode is meant to test the special stages, which explains the red orbs that are laid out in a circle in a 3D effect. It's actually the remnants of the special stages that are attempted to be loaded right into the game's memory in the main stages. But since the special stages have different data outside of the main stages, this causes the game to lag way too much. Which explains why Tails is stuck spinning around very slowly and jumping very slowly. There are even some more unused stuff in Angel Island, such as a surfboard, which is actually the scrap remnants of a cut intro. Everyone knows about that, but I thought to mention it here because it's a neat intro, and it's much better than having to see Tails pilot Sonic to Angel Island 1,000 times. Anyways, Angel Island Act 2 has a finale, a penultimate finale area to Angel Island, with a giant airship that's dropping bombs. I like to think that Sonic and Tails are trying to reach the ship and trying to destroy it, but they never do since the ship is way too high up and it doesn't matter because it flies away. And they get this cool shot of some trees in the back, and then Eggman menacingly flying in the background. And then the Sonic 3 boss theme. An intimidating theme to anyone who has played Sonic 3. It's definitely a haunting theme to definitely suit the boss. Here's the capsule. There's also another time where you get to hear Knuckles' theme. A fun fact about Knuckles is that Knuckles' theme in Sonic 3, if you listen to the Knuckles theme for 34 seconds, there's actually a short audio clip. But there's no point in the game where you're actually meant to hear Knuckles' theme for more than 34 seconds. I mean, technically you could do it here in Angel Island if you do that glitch, and in Launch Base Zone. Next is Hydro City, probably one of my favorite Sonic 3 stages, more specifically for the Act 2 music, because of how sweet it is. Hydro City Zone. I can talk about some unused stuff here. First off, the background we know of Hydro City Zone isn't the background that's actually meant to be used. Because it's Sonic free, in the level select, there's actually an unused version of the Hydro City background that actually has some green vegetation. The Sonic free prototype definitely shows this more. However, I'll cover the Sonic free prototype later. Also, another fun fact is that the Insta Shield becomes good use here. But did you know that the Insta Shield is actually, well, meant to deflect enemies' attacks? That's what it was originally meant to be called, but in Japan, apparently it's called the W spin attack. I know Japan uses W for double, but I always grew up thinking it was like a shield. God damn it, translators. However, going up from ahead into Hydro City Zone, there's the Act 1 mini-boss. And here's an interesting fact about the Sonic 3 and Knuckles Hydro City Act 1 mini-boss. Did you know that when you first fight the Act 1 mini-boss of Hydro City, it plays the Act 2 boss theme, which isn't even the correct theme. But then when you go to fight the mini-boss, before you drown, if you get out of the water, then it starts playing the Sonic and Knuckles mini-boss theme. So technically this boss has the ability to play two themes, none of which the game reads as the correct one. Because, well, I don't think the game was meant to read both boss themes. It was meant to read the Act 1 boss theme. But since this boss plays both the Act 2 boss theme and the Sonic and Knuckles mini-boss theme, then this boss is technically overriding the game's data as the game becomes confused as it doesn't know what to do. Also, another fact about Sonic's Hydro City Zone is that before you enter the Act 1 mini-boss, there are these blue orbs inside these tubes and they bounce around left to right, but there's one set that doesn't bounce around when you enter the mini-boss. How strange. In fact, another thing you can do in Hydro City Zone is have Knuckles climb on the wall and have Knuckles clip in the air with those tubes that drag Knuckles down, so that it looks like Knuckles is climbing nothing. I find that pretty damn hilarious. Anyways, yeah, you see these tubes and you see these blue cylinder things right here? That's what I was referencing to. It's a bit of foreshadowing. Ah, yes. The Hydro City Zone, it's the water level, but there are a few points where you don't actually enter the water. What's the point of a water level if you can't spend much time in the water? Well, I guess that's a good thing, since it allows you to speed past this zone pretty damn quick. If I could look at the time, we're just 1 minute and 50 seconds, and we're already probably nearing the end of the stage right now. Isn't that quite insane? Oh yeah, and then you have these giant rings, which let you... There are way too many giant rings in Angel Island and Hydro City Zone, to the point where you can actually get Supersonic as early as Hydro City Zone. In fact, maybe as early as Marble Garden Zone. So you technically get Supersonic right there, early in the game. It's not like most normal players that attempt to find the hidden rings, but just give up because they know it's too damn difficult. Oh yeah, Marble Garden. Oh yeah, Marble Garden Zone. It's like Marble Zone, except without lava, and it's vertically oriented. In fact, I can talk about something in Marble Garden Zone. Did you know that there's actually a glitch that lets you clip straight to the end of the stage? I learned from A+Start. Shout out to him for finding that out. But this glitch, it lets you skip right to the end of the stage. It's pretty damn fast. Although I really didn't bother much. Also, these drills are way too goddamn fast. In fact, I can talk about another thing about debug mode. Did you know that in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, there is a thing called night mode? They removed it in Sonic 3 and Knuckles because I guess Sega thought that having something that was meant to be used for testing was kind of stupid. which is why it is in Sonic 1, nor is it in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is what's being shown here in order to capture footage that I'm making for this video right now. Anyways, Marble Garden is pretty good, but oh yeah, Super Sonic, he's pretty dang fast. Somebody's giving me an eyesore. Marble Garden is pretty good. Carnival Night. Carnival Night is pretty much a carnival, and it's a pain in the ass. Act 1's pretty okay, but Act 2 goes to dark mode. But thankfully you have these buttons to turn on some lights. I guess you're restoring electricity. Although I could say screw the Act 2 mini boss. Screw the Act 2 boss. It's pain. The Act 2 boss can definitely go shave. And now I can throw another fun fact. Did you know that Flying Battery was actually meant to be part of Sonic 3? Yeah, originally, Sega intended Flying Battery to be in between Carnival Night and Ice Cap Zone. This is proven by the fact that, well, if you use the Sonic 3 level select code, then the Sonic 3 level select will show Flying Battery in between Carnival Night and Ice Cap Zone. In fact, there's even more evidence that Flying Battery was meant to be part of here. Another thing about the special stages. The special stages actually correspond with each zone of Sonic 3. Except Special Stage 5. It doesn't follow this pattern. But it does. Special Stage 5 seems to fit with the Flying Battery theme. Even more proof. In fact, there's even more proof that there's even unused sounds of Sonic and Knuckles found within the sound test. Which, pretty dang neat. Anyways, Carnival Night, it's okay, except it's a mess. Ice Cap Zone. Ice Cap Zone. This is the zone that caused that Michael Jackson work with Sonic 3 debacle. So yeah, it all keeps rolling back, doesn't it? Anyways, Sonic 3's beginning of Ice Cap Zone actually gets reused in Sonic Adventure. You probably didn't notice it when you played Sonic Adventure, but Ice Cap Zone was there in Sonic Adventure for a reason. Probably because of the snowboarding segment, but the rest of Ice Cap in Sonic Adventure was just dumb. I didn't like it. And here's another fact about Ice Cap Zone. Did you know that in Knuckles' version of Ice Cap Zone, there was a YouTuber showed that, well, Knuckles can actually get to Sonic's ice snowboarding segment. Knuckles had to pull off some really hard glidings, and you had to master the spin dash. And you had to master Knuckles' gliding and climbing abilities. But it can definitely be proven that Knuckles can get there. Of course, Sega never intended Knuckles to get to Sonic's ice boarding segment, which explains why that area is blocked off for Knuckles. However, you can get there, and I can't speak words right now. Ice Cap Zone's pretty good, but did you know about Ice Cap Zone's music is that Ice Cap, when you listen to the full track on YouTube, you'll actually realize that there's actually a fast fury of notes that actually plays at the end of Ice Cap's theme. In fact, Ice Cap Act 2 silenced out all other instruments except the fast fury of notes in order to give the sense of a fast blizzard. However, Ice Cap Zone doesn't technically let you listen to that part of Act 2 all that much, since Ice Cap Act 2 can be beaten in under a minute. In fact, Ice Cap Act 2 is actually the outlier, clocking with 1 minute and at least over 1 minute and 30 seconds of themes. Why is this the only zone that does this? I have no idea. You ask me. Apparently, I guess Sega didn't want to bother in making Ice Cap longer, as people just knew they were just gonna drop out right quick. Anyways, Ice Cap Act 2. However, another thing about Sonic 3's music is that with Sonic 3, by collecting rings, you technically block out certain instruments from playing. This can actually be a conundrum when you listen to Sonic 3 as you're playing and then you collect rings, and then all of a sudden, very few instruments actually remain. In fact, this is even noticeable in Ice Cap Act 2 with the Fury of Bullets I mentioned earlier. Well, collecting rings pretty much blocks out all instruments. Anyways, Ice Cap Act 2's boss. I hate it. I never bothered even seeing this boss, but it's definitely annoying with Eggman just doing this. Turning into an ice block. Yeah, just pretty much go supersonic. It makes this way too easy. And finally, launch base zone. It's definitely the most dramatic zone. Another thing about launch base, I could talk about some unused stuff in launch base zone. Did you know that in launch base zone, technically in launch base act 2, there's actually some unused sprites of a full-fledged animation of Eggman fleeing to the death fake after you beat the Big Arms. It's located right between that cutscene and the Big Arms data. Not sure why it's removed, because it would definitely make a more climactic ending for Sonic 3 alone. I guess it explains why Sonic 3 and Knuckles removes it, but why not just have the animation for Sonic 3 alone? I'm currently doing a review. Anyways, launch base is pretty good. However, I do have to say, Act 1 is pretty dang weird. Like that. And of course you have the segment where Knuckles just blows up a building because Knuckles is an environmental terrorist. And then you got all these segments, and Launch Base Act 1 runs on for way too long. Like, look at the timer. 3 minutes and 27 seconds, right to just the Act 1 mini-boss. You know, after seeing that, you don't even want to bother imagining what the second act is going to be like. Don't worry, with the power of my bad editing, we can make it all the way to Act 2. In fact, we just skipped the easiest part of Act 2, the boss, which is pathetic, but actually, it's actually knocked off to 3 different phases. The first phase of the Act 2 boss is pretty easy. And originally you had to fight 2 other phases, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles technically skips this. As Sonic 3 and Knuckles never intends Sonic to actually go fight Big Arms. I mean, sure, it's on the Knuckles path, but what do you expect? Anyways. Let's pass in some stuff. And here we are. Anyways, on to Mushroom Hill Zone. This zone is technically in Sonic 3. However, since Sonic 3 never intends you to be in Mushroom Hill Zone, Sonic 3, when attempting to load Mushroom Hill, it does not like it. It corrupts the game way too much. But this is data. Anyways, yeah, this place. I don't see much unused stuff in Sonic and Knuckles, but Mushroom Hill or Mushroom Valley, pretty good. It's where it goes to get the Super Emeralds. And Act 2 is pretty much dull. And then Flying Battery Zone. My new favorite Sonic 3 zone. I didn't like it here in the original, but Sonic Mania, it makes it all so good. The Flying Battery is a pain. Why? Because both acts just slog on for way too long. Alright, skipping ahead. Oh look, Sonic 2. I don't care. We can just skip it. In fact, let me explain some stuff about Flying Battery. This was the zone that was meant to be in Sonic 3 originally, but now it's here. There's some unused stuff about Flying Battery Zone. Because did you know that there's actually an unused icon, level select icon for Flying Battery. It has a darker shade, which is actually meant to be for what it was originally meant to be placed in, between Carnival Night and Ice Cap. That image goes unused, but it can be found in the game's files if you search long enough. Oh, and here's the Act 2 boss. But here's the thing about Knuckles' version of this fight. Instead of Egg Robo, it's actually just Eggman, both for Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Why? Well, because this boss uses a unique Eggman sprite, and I guess Sega was too lazy to make a unique Egg Robo sprite. So yeah, this is the only boss. It's the only time Eggman actually appears in Knuckles' route. Although Sonic 3 Complete technically fixes this glaring issue. There are also some unused sprites, but technically you can see that these unused sprites for Eggman are technically used here. Such as unused sprites for Eggman getting hit while on this machine, and even for when his face is burnt. The burnt face technically goes used in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but the damage hits barely go used in this version of the game. Rarely goes used here. Sandopolis, pretty boring. Oh yeah. So this is quite broke. Anyways, Sandopolis is pretty boring. Although the theme is pretty nice, and Act 2 builds upon the ancientness even more. The Act 1 mini-boss is a pain, but the Act 2 mini-boss is actually... The Act 2 boss is quite okay. And this is Act 2, because Act 1 took way too much time to actually go through. Anyways, after Act 2 of Sandopolis comes Lava Reef Zone. I like Lava Reef. It's pretty good. It's pretty much the volcanoous mountain area. And Act 1 for Sonic Begins pretty cool. Sonic Mania even makes it even more better with Encore mode. How you get on that boat and then crash into the volcano. It definitely gives a bit of immersion as well as some cool candidness to the game. As well as some life, because it definitely needs it. Lava Reef is also where the fire shield becomes good use. In fact, the Sonic 3 prototype technically has a lot of Lava Reef data. In fact, the Sonic 3's prototype has a lot of unused Lava Reef data, enough to actually make a somewhat playable early version of Lava Reef Act 1. Act 2 barely gets that much, but hey, what can you do? Oh yeah, that drill enemy, he goes as the mini-boss of Sonic Mania, but we're not at that point yet. Anyways, Lava Reef's music is pretty good, but Act 2 is where it becomes insane. Oh yeah, Hypersonic. Hypersonic is pretty good. And then Act 2. And Lava Reef Act 2 is definitely the change-up, having the most diverse and most drastically different Act 2 version of Zone's music in any Sonic game I've ever seen. Definitely the most drastic one of them all. In fact, this theme is also used in Hidden Palace Zone, which might strike as laziness, but Hidden Palace is also ancient, so I guess Lava Reef Act 2's music fits it. In fact, there's even more stuff about Lava Reef that you probably didn't know. Anyways, Lava Reef Act 2. Quite a long level, but boy is it enjoyable to play through. Act 2 is definitely interesting, with Act 2 having this. You're gonna go on to fight this Eggman, which is pretty dumb. Now Hidden Power Zone. But did you know that Hidden Power Zone actually contains a secret unused area that contains 3 unused monitors, an unused S monitor, and as well an S monitor, as well as a monitor that's pretty interesting. Yeah, Sonic 3's Hidden Power Zone technically has an unused area. An area that the player is never meant to go to that contains an unused S monitor that you can actually load in Debug Mode. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, Hidden Power Zone is pretty short, only being 1 act, and it's quite the short act it is. You got this segment with the bonus stage. Oh yeah, time to talk about the bonus stages. the bonus stages technically have some unused stuff. For example, this bonus stage has an unused sprite of a supersonic icon. My most likely guess is that this is meant to be used as an alternate version of the jackpot to give you a ton of rings. But, well, that doesn't go used here. In fact, you probably know about the bonus stage, but have you ever heard of the Doylist stage? Doylist stage is pretty much a screwed up version of that Gumball bonus stage. The Gumball bonus stage actually has an unused F and S ball. You can actually see the remnants of an S ball located in the Gumball machine bonus stage, although it's not flashing. F ball is green, but there's no F. In fact, the Gumball machine doesn't even display it. In fact, the Doylist stage is pretty much the result of a glitch. And with the Doylist stage, you can access it from the level select. And since the game doesn't know what to do, it just loads in the Gumball bonus stage. But since it doesn't know what to do, it then corrupts, and then when you re-enter it, it just loads as Doylist. And also, when you exit out the stage manually, the level select also breaks. That's just nice. And surprisingly, the pinball bonus stage doesn't have anything to go by. I remember this area? This is actually in Sonic Mania's data, located inside the Knuckles' Lava Reef area, where this entire area of Hidden Power Zone is just located inside Sonic Mania. Although the sprites are pretty broken, murals also pretty fucked up. Anyways, here's another portion where there's also a result of a glitch. You saw Hypersonic there. Well, technically, if you use Tails to glide, then when you enter, the screen actually kind of breaks a bit, and then Knuckles just unloads, and you can actually hit Eggman 255 times. And Eggman will be defeated, and then he'll just turn to an animal buddy. Also, the game's pretty much soft locked, then you have to reset. Sucks. And now time for Sky Sanctuary. Another one-act zone, although Sky Sanctuary is pretty cool. Mostly because of Mecha Sonic. Look, it's the Green Hill boss. You remember Green Hill, right? Oh, Green Hill. Oh, I hate it. I hated Green Hill with my envy, because I saw it way too many goddamn times. Although now I can take revenge on it. Green Hill boss can go die, and also this is the only time where you see an asset from Green Hill used. So that's neat. And also, for whatever reason, the Metropolis boss is also used here. The Metropolis boss from Sonic 2 is used here. Yup. And then you get to actually fight Mecha Sonic head on. And then he sucks. Anyways, now it's time for Death Egg Zone, the penultimate zone. Yes, the penultimate zone of a penultimate zone. Ain't that a mouthful? Anyways, the interesting thing about Death Egg Act 1 is that the Death Egg Zone actually has the pig animal bunny. You know one of the animal buddies from Sonic 1 is a pig? Well, in Sonic 2, he's kind of cut from there. And in Sonic 3, the only zone that the pig is meant to spawn in is Death Egg, which barely has any badniks. So you'll never see this pig. What a pathetic, weak pig. Literally cut from Sonic 3. That's just sad. Another thing about Death Egg is that Sonic and Tails can accidentally end up in Knuckles' area of Death Egg, which of course Red Hot Sonic already showed in his Sonic 3 Complete video. So yeah, props to Red Hot Sonic for showing that, because I definitely think that Sonic and Tails ending up in Knuckles' version of Death Egg Act 1 is definitely the result of a bug that was never fixed, and it wasn't even addressed in Sonic 3 Complete. I'm surprised. Another thing about Death Egg Zone is that the first anti-gravity object actually contains 3 rings under it. You can definitely see this with Debug Mode, and it's even more prominent if you get an electric shield and run back to that first anti-gravity ball. In fact, Sonic 3's Debug Mode actually has an option to let you flip the gravity, just like Death Egg. However, this is not useful as it's not quite useful since Sonic Free technically doesn't want you running on the walls that much, since most walls are technically not meant to be run on. So yeah. That fig is pretty cool. I think it's cool that that fig is actually turned from a 1-act zone to a 1-act boss rush to actually being a full zone with actual level design and enemies and all that stuff. And it even has its own unique gimmicks. And then there's Dr. Eggman, who is just pathetic as usual. But then, this giant mech that's way too easy to destroy. I'm pretty sure we've hit peaked maxness. And then upon defeating this giant robot, oh boy, Eggman's off with the Master Emerald. And you can't actually hit him here. Although, because you're running a lot, you can't barely hit him all that much. And also, you're constantly running from a falling pit. Anyways, just after Eggman long enough, Sonic becomes Hypersonic, and now it's Doomsday Zone. And technically, Knuckles and Tails can also play in Doomsday Zone. However, they don't have unique sprites for flying. So what ends up happening is that Tails and Knuckles will just be gliding and standing still, while Tails is just eventually flying. So yeah, there's some rogue stuff there. But Sonic Free and Knuckles, pretty good game. I give the game a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's really good. So yeah, that's it. But we're not done yet. Oh yeah, you thought we were done. Oh no. We technically have more stuff to go over. Anyways, time for debug mode. Anyways, to get to debug text is almost like you have to go to Angel Island, press right, left, up, and you hear a ring chime. Then press start and A. Then select sound test, which also happens to be level select. Anyways, level select can allow you to do some stuff. Anyways, debug mode, go to Mushroom Hill Zone and go to one of those pulleys and also do